Rothschild, through his agents in America, financed the North and financed the South. Right. Come on. And more lives were lost. Right. But poor people who are idealists.
So from the Rothschilds to the Lee family are protected by the 9 Black Greek secret societies of Black fraternities and Black Sea Org. Well, in the 1969 book, The History of Sigma Pi Phi, Alpha Phi Alpha protects the Rothschilds. Kappa Alpha Psi protects the Oppenheimers. Omega Psi Phi protects the Warburgs. Phi Beta Sigma protects the Rockefellers. Iota Phi Theta protects the Astor family. Alpha Kappa Alpha protects the Bilderbergs. Delta Sigma Theta protects the Habsburg family that exists to this day. Zeta Phi Beta, another Boule secret society, protects the Sassoons, and Sigma Gamma Rho, RHO, protects the Lee family. Wait a minute now. So you have 9 Black Greek letter secret societies. And if you guys heard Kamala Harris when she was in Vegas during the campaign, to my divine 9 sisters, what she's talking about, the Greek pan-Hellenic.
Exactly. Is a Jew. There was no word called Jew in the ancient world. The word Jew did not come out of Africa. It did not come out of Western Asia. It is a European word. Tell me, how can 600,000 people cross the Nile? Cows, children, goats, sheep, get on the other side. No laws. The Nile just dried up. It must have been muddy, and they didn't even get their feet muddy. Now you can do it with imagination, but in fact you can't do it. They copied, these Western Asian people copied Nile Valley folk stories, personified themselves into the story, and sold you your own story, and you bought it. Before their entry into Africa as visitors seeking food and shelter. There in Africa, they sought and found food and shelter. They entered Africa with no clear language, no clear religion, and no clear culture. When they left, they came as 70 in number. They left 600,000 in number. They had a culture, a language, and a religion when they left, all taken from Africa. They were not Hebrews when they got there, but they were Hebrews when they left. Yet you have forgotten how to claim it. Now, these visitors came into Africa in the 1700s BC, led by our patron father Abraham. 1675, Africa was invaded from Western Asia. Instead of taking the side of the Africans, they took the side of the invaders. But while under the invaders, while they served as collaborators and clerks and betrayals of their African friends, they produced the world's first wheeler-dealer politician called Joseph the Provider. The Africans came back to power and said, those who wish to now obey African rule may stay, the rest will have to go. The African king came to power, and that is the king who knew not Joseph, the king who owed the Jews no favor, and the wheeler dealer politician Joseph did not have any power around the throne, because the throne was now an African throne. In their early contact with us was as wheeler dealers, and they entered human history with their visit to Africa. They have never been our friends when we needed them. In the concept of a historical alliance between African people and people called Jews is a lie and a myth and a misconception.
You can go all the way back to the war between the states, but it was a deal. It was all a deal. Auguste Belmont, a registered agent of the Rothschild banking family in Europe, came to this country and quickly became the leading seller of bonds for the federal government. Even Chancellor Bismarck of Germany is on the record as saying that the war in the 1860s in the United States was contrived by the Rothschilds to split the country in half so that they could regain North America for the bankers in France and Britain. And if you'll stop and think about it, where was the bulk of the British Army? It was in Canada. Where was the French army? Mexico, under Maximilian. So they were going to let the North and South bleed each other dry, and then they were going to move in. There's only one man who seemed to understand what was going on, and that was the head Yankee, Abraham Lincoln. I'll have to give him some grudging credit. I think he understood what was happening. And that's why he became the first American president to print his own money, known as greenbacks. Do you know there's only been one other president in the history of this country that tried to print interest-free money? John F. Kennedy. And I don't think it's a coincidence that both of those presidents were shot in the head. You might want to be aware that the first third party in the United States was the anti-Masonic Party.
Rothschild, through his agents in America, financed the North and financed the South. Right? Come on. And more lives were lost. Right? But poor people who are idealists